They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
Keep the up, man.
They're eating the cats.
Hey, how are you? This Foolery guy, this Foolery clown at the bottom, he jumps from conservative live to conservative live. He live.
Andrew Tate's girlfriend says he attacked her 2 weeks ago, sending her to the ER just as he
was live streaming at the beginning.
By the way, he's a horrible debater.
Thank you for disclosing that, because I don't think it's okay to stream people without their consent.
Wow, I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah.
Why are you doing that when we've been just
Ma'am,
so kind to you and it's been respectful and everything? Why are you doing that?
I'm not doing any of those things. I am a debater on YouTube. I play video games and I debate people.
I think it's okay to stream people without their consent.
Hold on. I said when I came on here that I was streaming. I said, I promise you, you can rewind my own live and watch when I came in, and I said, I am streaming on YouTube.
As you were a streaming gamer.
Yeah.
I don't know who your subscribers are. I don't know where you're streaming this. I don't know how people are watching. I don't know who you are.
I'm sorry, but you're giving the left a bad name because it's a typical leftist piece of shit.
You're on a public stream right now, so I could still do it even if I wasn't on here, and you would have less of a chance of knowing. But I did come on here, and I did tell them that I was streaming. So it isn't.
You did not. Stop saying that.
It's on my stream. I can show it.
All you said.
I'll tell you what, Tom. Stop your streaming. Pull up your recording and tell us that you did that.
He's got a live stream running right now.
That's what I said. Why do you guys keep repeating it? Like, yes, I've said the whole time, I am streaming. Yes, I've said over and over.
No, you did not.
Streaming.
You did not. You did not, and I don't appreciate it.
I never heard it once.
To the walls. It seems like
yeah, make you aware of what was going on in case you weren't.
Yeah,
and go from there. So
I can hop off if you guys want me to show you that I said it first. I'm happy to do that, but
I'm actually blocking you. Bye.
This is it is allowed on TikTok. Just fucking weirdos, dude. I don't understand this shit, dude.
Okay. Hey Tom, welcome to the panel. How old are you and who'd you vote for?
Yeah, I'm 36. I voted for Kamala.
Okay, cool. What brings you up?
Just streaming on YouTube. Just streaming on YouTube. Just streaming on YouTube. I generally go looking for people to talk to on TikTok sometimes to see if there's people who are talking about politics.
Oh, okay, cool. What's on your mind this afternoon, this beautiful Sunday afternoon?
I mean, we've been covering a couple of topics. There's things like DEI is one of the things that we were going over, and some of the confusion with what DEI is. So I told them when I came on that I was streaming. Cannot be any more explicit
He also accused Candace Owens of some pretty terrible things, dog whistling that Hitler was okay, just because she did a segment about Nazi book burnings, and a lot of people don't know that actually the Nazis were burning like LGBT and socialist books, which I'm not for book burning, but it's kind of interesting there that...
Oh, she is so... She does this all the time. I mean, I'm not like, you know... Not saying Nazis are good or anything. I'm not saying they're great people. But Hitler did pet his dog and say, "Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Yes, you're a good girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're daddy's little good girl, aren't you?" He did that. So I just think that's interesting. The history books don't tell you about that Hitler did that.
That like can't.
Well, I mean, I do consider any form of homosexuality or promiscuity to be disgusting.
What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What are you talking? You know who society doesn't accept? White male Christians. What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people?
I mean, I do consider any form of homosexuality or promiscuity to be disgusting.
What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? White male Christians.
Not even kidding. I actually get pissed off when I get on Twitter, when I get on TikTok, when I get on Instagram, YouTube Shorts. I've been seeing this all over the place from the left, where they're saying, "Oh, I thought the right-wingers were in favor of vigilantism, but all of a sudden Luigi kills the CEO and now they're against it. But when it came to Kyle Rittenhouse, they were all in favor of it." And I was like, you guys are the dumbest motherfuckers out there. You know that? You guys are embarrassing. As the human race, you're embarrassing as fuck. I cannot stand you people. I don't want anything to do with you guys. If you're going to stand around acting like Kyle Rittenhouse is comparable to Luigi. First off, Kyle Rittenhouse was not a vigilante, okay? So when we think of a vigilante is somebody who's like on the offensive, right? They're going out and dealing with things themselves. They're going out and looking to fix something. They're going out to solve problems themselves. Kyle Rittenhouse is not a vigilante. That guy was just called just to show up and defend buildings. That's it. For you to compare Kyle Rittenhouse to Luigi, you would have to think that Kyle Rittenhouse was there on the offensive. And there's just no evidence to this. There's no evidence to say that he was there on the offensive. He defended himself when people attacked and battered him. They attacked him. He didn't go out and start attacking people. He didn't go out and just start shooting random people. He shot people who attacked him. The reason that he got off was because all of that stuff counted as self-defense. You guys are victim blaming. That's what you're doing. Luigi is a murderer. This guy just went and just murdered somebody. He is just a murderer. Whereas Rittenhouse did not murder anybody. He was defending himself. He just defended himself. That's it. This is not murder. It is self-defense. So for you guys to compare these two things, it's just victim blaming. That's all it is. You guys, you lefties, love to complain about victim blaming. You guys are victim blaming. That's what you're doing. And the same with the CEO. Same with the CEO. You want to say, oh, the CEO shouldn't have been the CEO of a company that denies all these claims if he didn't want to get murdered and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. You're saying that women shouldn't go in short skirts into fucking bars because then it's their fault if they get like, that's what you're saying. Good job. Congratulations. You have become the meme. Well done. What's up, fools? Today is 3/28/2025. It is 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm not feeling good. I feel like shit right now. I am a little zoomed in, so bear with me. I'm very zoomed in because I'm going on a panel a little bit later, and I have to set this up to where actually I can't stand it being this zoomed in right now. So I'll fix it later when it's time to go on the panel because I hate being this fucking zoomed in. Yeah, I like zooming it in when I go on panels, so, cause it's, yeah, you can just see way more on their screen because they put me in a different, because they put me in a different, like, what do you call it? A different format to where I'm in landscape instead. So You look depressed? It's just, bro, I'm in the South, and here, there's so much pollen. Like, around this period of time, there's just so much pollen. And I sent it to somebody today, and they're like, I've never seen anything like that before. They're like, I've never seen anything like that before. Yesterday, I got up, and I was working outside for like 4 or 5 hours, and then I came in, and my nose was just running all over my mustache, and I was trying to eat, and then I just fell asleep and slept for like 14 hours straight, just out. Complaining about pollen? Okay, Tom is white. It's no, dude. No. If you guys really don't know what it's like, it literally covers everything. I'm not exaggerating. It literally covers everything. Everything turns yellow and green. Everything. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not making like an overly big deal about this stuff. I'm telling you, it literally covers everything. I'm going to send myself a couple of videos real quick just so you guys can see what it is that I'm talking about. But it is horrific. There's just, I forget sometimes that other people don't have to go through this. I forget a lot of times that other people don't have to go through this, and so they have no idea what it is that I'm talking about. But no, it is horrible, and it's normal around this time for people to just call out of work and not show up because their cars are covered, and the pictures don't even do it justice, honestly. Like, the pictures truly don't even do it justice. So this is my car. You can see all of this all over the car. You can see it's all caked up here, all on the top. It's everywhere. Like, all of this is all pollen. This is all pollen all over. Doxing your plate, I don't think it makes a big difference, but yeah, then let's see. Then I took a video just to make sure that I got the point across to somebody that I was talking to, because the pictures truly just do not do it justice. You can't tell how bad it actually is until you see this, okay? So this makes it look like everything's kind of blurry outside, right? It just looks like everything's blurry, but it's not blurry. You can see this is perfectly clear. The dashboard is perfectly clear. Everything else perfectly clear. You can see it just fine. But everything outside looks really blurry. You see, oh, just, you gotta windshield wipe this shit. And you can see the clouds of it just coming off as you wipe it. You can see the fucking clouds coming off. And you can see all that's left on the front of the car. You can see everything that it missed here in the corner. So yeah, this is horrible, dude. This is so bad. It is horrific around this time of year. And I just went and like took a really long time washing my car getting it all perfectly clean because I'm getting ready to sell it, and come out and it's just covered in fucking pollen right after. So this is all horrific. But have you thought of the dust in Gaza? How dare you complain? So true. So you're right. You're right. So it's my white privilege that it's coming out. Very sad. Sad. Pollen doesn't see color. Yeah. So what was you were asking a minute ago what the video was with Rob Noor? That was a debate between, like, it wasn't even a debate. It was so initially it was a debate between, I can't remember his name. Maybe somebody can remind us who this guy is. Zen Shapiro. That's right. That's his name. So Zen Shapiro was debating Jangles, and because Zen was debating Jangles after he had the debate, Zen, Rob Noor, Andrew Wilson, and their co-host, I can't remember his name, it's like Theo or something like that, they all sat and reviewed it afterwards, and Rob goes off about the fact that everybody acts like gay people are discriminated against, but there's no one in America who discriminates against gay people. Where are those people? Those people don't exist. And I actually had a couple of friendships that ended over this clip. A lot of people got really pissed off at me over this clip. Andrew thought it was funny. Rob got pissed off at first, and then I replied to him and I was like, bro, why are you getting mad? I thought it was funny. And then he's like, oh, yeah, me too. I'm just busting your balls. I thought it was funny too. And that was that. But yeah, this is the video.
Well, I mean, I do consider any form of homosexual.
So that's Zen Shapiro, and that's Jangles. And Jangles is gay.
Any form of homosexuality or promiscuity to be disgusting.
And so it says 30 seconds later, so you can see there's Pedro, that was his name. Pedro, Rob Noor, Zen Shapiro, and Andrew Wilson are all reviewing this debate that Destiny was hosting on his show.
What parts of society do we have that don't?
So yeah, 30 seconds after Zen Shapiro is saying, I consider all forms of homosexuality to be, or promiscuity to be degenerate. 30 seconds later, you have Rob Noor like, what parts of society don't accept gay people? What are you talking about? It's like, bro, he literally said it 30 seconds ago. He literally just said it.
What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What are you talking? You know who society doesn't accept? White male Christians. What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people?
The entire community.
I do consider any form of homosexuality or promiscuity to be disgusting.
What parts of society do we have that don't accept gay people? White male Christians.
And so yeah, so it says the question, what parts of society don't accept gay people? The answer, white male Christians. That's the answer. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we got the panel starting in a little bit. The panel is supposed to be about race, I guess. I'm not positive. So let's see. It says 2ST episode. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be first episode, and that's just a typo, but it says the number 2ST. Like, if you put 1ST, that means first. But if you put 2, then you put 2ND for second, but it has 2ST. And so I thought maybe it was like a time zone thing, but no, it says 2ST episode. So I don't know. I'm a little confused. But anyway, so it says 2ST episode, Team Chaotic Truth versus Team Tomfoolery. So a guy named Chaotic Truth is the team captain for the black people. I'm the team captain for the white people. So it's white power versus black power. It says team members don't need to agree with each other and will be able to engage with each other if they disagree. There will be no winners or losers, only hosts and no judges. Topic, wealth gap, hard work, or historical oppression. I mean, I think it's going to be... I think this is always like a nuanced question. I was scrolling through TikTok the other day, and I was listening to somebody who was on a panel with IRI. I'm really important. And so IRI has been streaming on TikTok more and more. Shit, dude, my eye's starting to swell up. I just put Visine in it. Fuck. Shit. I think I need like hand wipes or something, because I know I've got pollen all over my fucking hand. I don't have sanitizer. The closest thing I have are fucking baby wipes, and now my hands are gonna smell like baby butt the rest of the fucking day. But yeah, anyway, so a guy was on there with IRI, and the guy said to him, do you think black people have issues because of historical oppression or because of culture? And IRI said, oh, obviously, historical oppression, 100%. And the guy immediately started like saying like, you're a fucking faggot, bitch, like N-word, blah, blah, you know, and he just starts going off, and IRI had to kick him off. I don't think that that's like a very good answer. I think that it's always going to be a mix of the two. I think that ever just making it about one or the other. White power jokes are not as funny as you think they are, Tom. White power jokes, however, hilarious. You said white power jokes twice. I'm so lost. Oh, white powder jokes. Oh, got it. Got it. I unfortunately took off my glasses to read that, so. Appreciate what y'all do, but I am an ANCOM. Yeah, I know lots of ANCOMs, so. I used to debate somebody who is an ANCOM pretty consistently. Do you know who Vivian Wolf is? Vivian Wolf used to come on all the time, and we had a bunch of debates about stuff like this. But yeah, for those who don't know, ANCOM is anarcho-communist. So it's somebody like pretty much. This is one of the confusing parts about Marxism, is that Marxism leads to anarcho-communism. So anybody who is a Marxist is an anarcho-communist, but a lot of them will not identify as anarcho-communists. They'll identify as socialists or, you know, progressives or something like that. But in reality, all of them, at the end of the day, are anarcho-communists. Every single one of them believes in anarcho-communism. They just identify as the next part of the process that they want to get to. And so I'm a socialist, I think. I am definitely a capitalist. For sure. But Marx always wrote on freedom, but most fall for the whole socialism is when government thing. Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's tons of people who have absolutely no idea what socialism is, which is one of the fun things that I enjoy about like trying to have those conversations with people, is that not only am I a liberal, but I understand Marxism pretty deeply, especially compared to most Marxists, and even more than especially compared to like MAGA or a Republican or somebody like that who thinks that like Kamala Harris is a Marxist or some shit like that, right? So the fact that they think that Kamala Harris is a socialist or a Marxist or any of that shit is fucking hilarious, because you could debate Kid about Marx. Well, he doesn't. Every time I've talked to him about it, he doesn't seem to like hold the label very stringently and doesn't really care about the label. He has like an ideal that he wants to head towards, but he wants to do it in a slow progression. And so to him, all that matters is just getting to the next part to make things a little bit better. That's it. And so to actually like have a debate about Marxism is kind of pointless when, yeah, they want to do everything through they're not looking for a revolution. They're looking for everything to go through a democratic process. The conversation is always, isn't that an oxymoron? Yes, because they don't know. Yes, they don't know that Marxism. This is actually what I brought up. There's 1,000 clips of me. That doesn't make sense. You can't. Wait, F? Okay, there we go. Back, the shorts chat never went down. It was just you guys. That was weird. A little weird. But yeah, so every time I'd be like, wait, how is she running for president if a Marxist communist doesn't believe in government? They're like, what do you mean? Yes, they do. I'm like, no, they don't. They don't believe communism is no government. They don't have government. There's a stateless, borderless, governmentless society. They have no class, nothing. Obviously, Kamala Harris believes in all of those things, so she can't be a communist and a Marxist. Formerly Rudy with $10. He said, what would be some specific reasons that Kamala is not a Marxist? Like, what does she show that proves she isn't? I don't think she is. I'm just ignorant and curious. Well, I mean, yeah, I just went over all of those things. So, Marxist communism is a governmentless, classless, borderless society. Obviously, Kamala believes in deporting people. She does believe in class. She talks a lot about the fact that class still exists, and she wants to do things to help people based on, class separation. The reason that a lot of people accuse Kamala Harris of being a Marxist and a communist is because her dad was an economist, and he was an economist who wrote about Marxism, but he critiqued Marxism. He also had some things that Marx said that he really appreciated. He liked Marx as a philosopher, as somebody who talked about economics, but he did not believe in Marx's process to get to communism. He had a lot of criticisms of Marx. When you look at Kamala's dad, the main thing that he was a post-Keynesian economist. And I don't know if you guys know, but all of a sudden, Trump and MAGA are all using Keynesian economics to justify everything that Trump is doing today. And they keep saying that Trump is a Keynesian. He's a I don't know how you would say it, but I guess a Keynesianist or a Keynesian. A Keynesian? Yeah, I guess a Keynesian. So yeah, they all keep using he's a Keynesian economist. Yes, he's a post-Keynesian economist. So post-Keynesian economics is a little bit different from Keynesian economics, but you use Keynesian economics to get to post-Keynesian economics. So it's he is a Keynesian at the end of the day, yeah. And so it's fucking hilarious that all these people called her dad a communist for so long and said that he was this horrible person who believed in horrible things, and now they're all running around spouting fucking Keynesian ideas and saying that Keynesian is the guy, when her dad is considered the post-Keynesian economist. He is the top post-Keynesian economist, and they're all running around pushing Keynesian economics now. So fucking stupid, dude. So fucking stupid. MAGA doesn't know that modern capitalism is Keynesian economics. I'm pretty sure Tom is a Keynesian capitalist. Probably to a degree. Like a Keynesian economics only has to do with specific parts of an economy. It doesn't have to do with everything within economics. And so the Keynesian part is going to apply more so, I believe, to the deficit and to tariffs than anything else. But it's not the entire thing. Tom, all modern economics models are partially based on Das Kapital. Marx's description of capitalist was the most accurate of the time. It was his prescriptions to solve it that were dumb. Yeah, no, same. I exactly. I really like Marx's descriptive claims as to how class works, as how economics work, especially separating socialism from capitalism, because nobody had a really good definition for socialism and capitalism before, and really had good separations for these two groups. And Marx put socialism as you are socialist when the workers own the means of production, and you are capitalist when a private entity owns the means of production, like an owner or a private owner or a board or whatever. And so, yeah. James with AZ, thank you for the $5, said Marx was also an anti-Semite, so there's plenty of critique. Most of what I advocate is policy that'll lead to a future market socialist revolution. Yeah, I don't mind market socialism so much. I think the market socialism is one of the better models of socialism. Actually, I'll say I think market socialism is the only possible model of socialism. I'll say that. I think it's literally the only model that could work, and I think it's one that actually makes a lot of sense. The market socialism, for those who don't know, is where you still have capitalism, you still have all of the things that exist within capitalism. So you still decide, yeah, Jeremiah, I remember you. But yeah, you still have all of the same things that dictate price, supply and demand and crap like that. The major difference is the workers own the means of production. And so they will do everything through a democratic process. So all of the workers will decide who the manager is. And then if they need 10 managers, okay, well, all of the bottom workers will vote on the 10 managers. then the 10 managers will vote on like the vice president, and then, you know, and so on and so on. And so all of them vote for these people to be their representatives, and all of them can hold votes to fire those people at some point as well. They vote on how much everybody will make. They'll vote on, you know, salaries. They'll vote on everything. Everything is owned by the workers. So all profits go back to the workers. The one major problem with market socialism is that with capitalism, they always make sure that there's big chunks of profit put off to the side for growth, right? So you can put a bunch off to the side to say, hey, if we're, you know, we got a great like business going here, in like 2 years, if we put enough off to the side, we'll be able to open another plant down the road, and then we'll have even more employees over there. But the workers have to sacrifice their salaries to open up another plant down the road in the future. They're almost definitely not going to want to do that. Why the fuck would they want to sacrifice their own salaries for 2 years to open up another plant that they're not going to benefit from? They get nothing out of that. That helps them none. It helps the business, but not them. So normally, having one person at the top who benefits from all of these things is what makes the business grow, is because the person at the top continues to benefit more and more the more the business grows. But the people at the bottom are never going to benefit from that, and they don't want the, you know, to spread. That will never help them. And so this is one of the problems with market capitalism. Or, sorry, market socialism. All right, I got to jump on now. So let's see if we can jump on the panel now. Hello? Hello, hello? See, I always blast my mic when I come onto these, and I turn it all the way up so that I can make sure that I always get heard above everybody else and they shut the fuck up when I start talking. But the last time, because I was quiet for a while, the mic kept getting louder and louder and louder, trying to hear me because I was quiet for so long, to where they could all hear me breathing really, really loudly at a certain point, and they're all sitting there like, Tom, chill. Tom, what are you doing? You sound like a fatso right now, bro. Chill. And I was like, what? What's going on? They're like, we can hear you breathing. Like, hardcore, dude. Chill. Like, oh, my bad. But yeah, I blast my fucking mic on here. I don't think they know I'm here yet, so I don't want to show the, or have the audio up. This also, every time I like get on StreamYard, it lags the fuck out of my computer. So I gotta X out of a bunch of different stuff to make sure that I can do this without slowing down too much. There's a thing that pops up for NVIDIA settings. Where are you moving, Tom? Is that why you're selling your car? Yeah, I'm moving. I can't really get into it just yet, but it won't be for a little bit. I got like a month or two before I actually move and sell my car and everything, but I'll end up buying another one. I just need the cash. Because yeah, I just bought this house like 3 years ago, and I've had too many problems with the mortgage to where I'm able to just leave it to other people to take over instead of actually selling it. I like your bald head look. You really should wax it. I've thought about doing, what is it, like laser hair removal? Might do that. Could maybe do some laser hair removal. Hey, just FYI, I am already streaming on my side. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've got it muted right now. I can leave it muted. Do you want me to? You want me to leave it muted until you start the show? Okay. Everybody take a second, hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate you guys joining. If you're watching on the vertical stream, you can hit the thumbs up by just double tapping your screen real quick. You can double tap it as many times as you want. It will never thumbs down. It will never take your thumbs down off. You can just keep hitting thumbs up or double tapping, and it'll keep thumbs upping it. It doesn't really add thumbs ups. It'll be one thumbs up the whole time, but just don't worry about like, oh no, I already pressed it once. If I press it again, it might, or I can't remember if I did it or not. It doesn't make a difference. You can keep tapping it. It'll be fine. We are going to go over some debates later. So there's a debate on Tim Pool apparently that happened with GoodLawgic and Pisco that I really want to go over. So that should be fun to get into. No, I didn't catch it. Yeah, if you'll type in my chat real quick, I'll add it. on Fatty's stream, he always gives us all wrenches so that we can like post links and stuff in his chat. Oh crap, I didn't mean to do that. And so he wants us to give him a wrench in our chats so that he can also post links here. So I told him to just type in the chat and we'll give him a link or give him a wrench so he can post his links as well. Understand why we wouldn't want everybody to be socialized to exist better.
When we extend this to a culture or race, again, what do we have? Higher functioning societies, happier societies when things are homogenous.
Sure. So my question...
Okay, sure, that's just kind of the end of the debate.
gon' make you overdose. Damn, look at that, they broke.
Give me a break. You can't say the color black without walking on eggshells.
This is what you're waiting for. I think we're ready to ride.
Off my jeans, froze chillin'. Both them must get dizzy. I can feel my kidneys and I'm trapping like I'm Whitney. Yo, bitch with me. Nah, bro, she ain't missing. Hold up, who you dissing? I say, hold up, got my glizzy, bang, bang. I said, hold up, got my glizzy, bang, bang.
You're tuned into Tomfoolery. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. And consider donating with super chats, stickers, memberships, or you can even gift memberships to other chatters. Or use the tips link in the description to write a message for TTS that will be read on stream.
Hit the like button, or you ain't black. And that's a fact. Jack.
Enjoy the show.
They already said that I'm fucking that I'm breathing too loudly. Damn, dude, they just started a 10-minute counter, so this is gonna take forever because they won't let me unmute until yes, Ali, I said earlier, I'm not allowed to. They don't want the audio unmuted, so I just have to wait for everything to start before I'm allowed to unmute anything. But he just started a 10-minute counter, so I hope it's not going to take 10 minutes. Okay, we got $15 in donos already. Thank you guys for setting us up quick. That way. That way we don't have to end stream as soon as I get off. Sometimes it sucks because a lot of times I'll be doing like a panel or something. And then I get off and I'm like, shit, well, it's been 4 fucking hours and I haven't gotten any donos. So now I just have to end stream. What the hell? You are a heavy breather. What's the panel topic? Panel topic is white versus black. So it's a team of white people versus a team of black people. But, damn, that's me. What the fuck? That's an AI version of me. That's supposed to be me. But yeah, they have a bunch of black people who are like pro-MAGA on this episode. So they have like a lot of the black people are going to be, the idea is like over whether or not black people are oppressed, whether or not we can blame like past, here we go.
Intended for satirical and educational purposes only.
Whether or not like we can blame oppression from the past on issues for black people today. It's kind of like a systemic racism debate, I guess. But it's like a white team versus a black team. And I already asked if I'm allowed to be racist, and they said no.
United States copyright law, which allows for commentary, criticism, news report, teaching, and research. Viewer discretion is advised, and we encourage independent thought and discussion.
But yeah, I'm the team captain, so it's Team Foolery, Team Tomfoolery versus... Oh shit, I X out of Discord so that I don't lag. Some of the people on here have really nice setups too. Like, there's a girl co-hosting with him named Kat, and she's got a really nice setup. Bring up the deletion of First Black Marines website if you can. Why is the TTS not going through? Bring up the website of First Black Marines. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. How many whites in the panel? It's half and half. So half the panel is white, half the panel is black. I think it's like 4 and 4. Something like that. And they even have, like, he brought on a white woman to be the co-host. So they even have one black host, one white host. At least they got music playing now. It was kind of rough earlier because I'm kind of getting annoyed that I couldn't play music because he wanted everything muted. So I was like, well, this sucks because I want to play some music so that the chat's not so quiet because they want, like, if I'm talking and you guys can hear me talking, then you can kind of understand everything that they're asking as well. But he wants them muted, so I have to mute myself. So I'm like, all right, I'll just start playing intros and BRB screens and shit so that I'm able to get away with, so that I'm able to leave something playing for a bit, but he's got really good intros. Like, Team Fatty is the one person who has intros and BRB screens and like animations and shit that stand up the money. He is the one person who's got something. Your community is going through a cleansing. My community is not changing. Oh, I mean, if you mean a cleansing since like going from like 300 viewers to like 30 viewers, then yeah, sure. But it's definitely a cleansing. But this is a cleansing that I'm very happy with because I realize 90% of my fucking community is purely retarded. I guess because I did too much drama, and I think that that's something that just tends to follow drama communities is a bunch of completely retarded people in your audience. It's a little over the top. Well, this shit, yeah, sure. Like, this stuff's a little over the top, but his normal stuff, I think, because this is just like a waiting screen. He'll get to the actual intro in a little bit. Bah ha 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 ha. You're not on the black team? I wore all black, hoping that they would switch me. Yeah, I'm not gonna breathe the rest of the stream. Mantis in the house, what it do? Bucky, if you send me what you're talking about on Twitter, because I had to X out of Discord, so send me what you're talking about on Twitter, and maybe I can pull it up. Proud simp, yeah, we are all happy to be simps over here. Today on the internet, simp just means a straight man. It's really all it means anymore. So. Hell yeah, we are happy to be simps over here. Simping ain't easy. It ain't simping if you got it. Here it is. This is it. This is dope.
He is, right? Look at that fatty. You know, haha, big fun, stupid fatty. I bet he can't go up the stairs. And
this is dope. I love it.
Black people can't be racist. Prejudice, yes, but not racist. Racism describes a system of disadvantage based on race. Black people can't be racist since we don't stand to benefit from such a system.
And this whole march and drama to this total
It is known in the black community that most, not all, but most black people are racist toward white Americans.
You say it's known. What do you mean? What's your basis for that?
They have been brainwashed over the last 50 years or so to believe that America is a racist society and that white folks are trying to hold them back.
They told us we wouldn't get here. There were those who said that we would get here only over their dead bodies. All the world today knows that we are here, that we are standing before the forces of power in the state of Alabama, saying we ain't gonna let nobody turn us around.
Came to this country with nothing. He couldn't even speak the language. But he worked hard and he made a place for himself and his family. Now why can't you people do the same? Hey, my grandfather built this country, man!
Let's talk about George Floyd. You said George
Bucky,
Floyd's
thank
death
you for
was a
renewing your
Why are
membership.
African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
Tom, you
And
believe
so are
in
white
post-capitalism?
So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. So are white people. More
it's a-
white people, by the way. More white people.
It's
That was my what? This shit is mad dramatic. Yeah, it is. We might switch over to one stream.
Fatty?
And just do the vertical stream.
Can't hear you, bro.
Cause
Fatty, we can't hear you, buddy.
I'm having a lot of issues keeping both streams up, so.
While Fatty's getting it together, guys, get the likes up, share the video, guys. Shout out to everybody that is in the chat. Shout out to everybody on the panel. We're gonna try to see what's going on with Fatty on the ones and twos. Go ahead, Kelly. How you doing? Beans, what's up? Kat, what's up? Chris and John, what's going on? And Tom Foolery Show, what's going on, guys? Salute to you. That was a nice intro, right, Beans?
That was so good.
Beans, your mic is muted as well. I always say Fatty's the one channel that actually has an intro that competes with mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. Friends.
Are you talking about the end part?
Hey, Fatty, I'll be right back in 5 minutes, okay? Can you...
Yes, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Friends, I appreciate y'all being here. I just have to reboot the computer because it kind of crashed in the middle of the intro, okay? Shout out to the 142 people watching in, Jesus Christ, in all platforms. I appreciate my guest today. Once again, star-studded panel. We're going to make sure we drop all the links during the show so y'all know where to catch them, okay? The Breaking Ground Show is a show that was made for people from Wakanda, the black people from Wakanda, and the white people from Valhalla to go ahead and have a discussion about topics of race. We are not going to stay just... I know what's going on.
He said we're not allowed to be racist today as well, so we did already cover that. He did say that.
Only the fun kind is allowed.
That's crazy.
So you want a boring stream? Okay, got it.
Yeah. I told him I had to change all my notes. He should have told me this way earlier, but last minute changes.
It's fine, Tom. You're good with improvising, aren't you?
Yeah, you kind of have to be when you do 8 to 10 hour stream.
Let's go.
This is incredible. Give me just one little second. Podcast, how was your day today?
Do you want us all to introduce ourselves, or while you?
Yeah, if it was possible before, because there's something that is not clicking well in this. Go ahead, Tom. You got this.
Well,
yeah, Beans, if you want to introduce yourself.
Well, yeah, like everybody knows who I am. If you don't know who I am, then your life sucks. But now to answer your question, Fatty, it's been a horrible day. Yeah, I woke up, something was wrong with my eye. It was red and watery and blurry. And I had a verbal boxing match with God.
Who won?
He won. He was like, if you don't go sit your blurry red eyes down somewhere. So, yeah.
That's crazy. I just need y'all to give me just 1 minute because I have a USB cable that is bugging. So I need to make sure that this is okay. And once again, I'm sorry.
Fatty, you know I'm taking this personal, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kat, Habibi.
You never had these hiccups when I'm not here.
I feel like I recognize you from somewhere. Where do you do content?
On my YouTube channel, and sometimes I go on other people's YouTube channels, like this one, Modern Life Dating, Grid One Show, maybe Project VO Pod, different places.
Might have seen you talk to MLD a couple of times. Maybe that's where I know you from. Is the name of your channel is Cat
Yep. My name,
Cat-
Katibi.
Katibi. Oh, okay. I put Kabibi. Maybe that's the problem. Because every time I put Kabibi, everything that comes up is Habibi.
What is your
Oh, you
race?
said
Kat?
no racism.
I am Persian.
Okay.
Not the cat, the humankind.
So is it racist that as soon as she said that, I heard Arabian Nights? Is that
Yes.
racist?
The Persians and the Arabs are not friendly.
So
I
this
just
is
learned that like year.
I thought I was different.
This is you. How I went from skinny to hot to stressed and
Don't read my
swollen.
stuff.
That's Cat Katibi. Okay, I got it. I want to learn how to go from skinny to hot, so I'll be checking that out.
Okay, I subscribe, Kat.
Grazie.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm good now. Let's see if I can restart this shit.
Persia was the Ottoman Empire, right? That was the Ottoman Empire.
No, the Persian Empire was its own thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ottoman Empire was Turkey.
Arab. Okay.
Turkish.
Okay.
I keep getting freaked out when I look at John and I see something that looks like me right behind him every time. I'm pretty sure that is an AI version of me over and over, and I keep like,
Absolutely.
wait, what is that?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Oh, the chat is telling me, okay, my esthetician, she's Persian because she's from Iran. And y'all always have the best eyebrows.
Not me, but yes, they do.
And the racism begins. it ain't a Persian on this planet with better eyebrows than me. Just stop it. Just stop it.
I'm really not racist, though. I'm probably one of the few Black people you'll meet that aren't. Because Black people are a little inherently racist.
Nobody who's racist thinks they're racist.
Tom, can you
But
please
we're
tell her
endearing.
about the eyebrows? Are the eyebrows not on fleek?
For you?
They are there. They are there.
They exist.
Yeah, they exist, right? Some people don't even have eyebrows.
I had some problems, kind of like what Fatty's going through earlier. You guys ever you take medicine and everything and you forget whether or not you took it? And right before stream, I couldn't remember if I smoked meth or not coming on. And now I'm wondering if I need to go and smoke meth again, or if I didn't do it already. You guys ever have that problem?
That sounds like white people problems. I'm gonna just say it.
We could talk about smoking crack instead. I don't know. Hey, he made it.
I didn't know it was as quick. You guys, were you guys talking about drugs?
No,
a little bit, just a little
white
bit.
man brought up drugs.
That is a false narrative. Everyone does crack because they always push this narrative that Black people did crack disproportionately to other races.
Yeah.
I did the research. Black people did not. Hispanics and white smoked crack.
This was
But
not the.
here's the thing: more white people are addicted to opioids than Black people.
This was not the first topic I was expecting to debate today. Who is the real crackheads, white people or Black people?
Everybody's crackheads.
It always leads there anyways.
We were just following the colonizers' lead. That's all.
Excuse me, but I am 2.5% Cherokee Indian, so I was partially colonized as well. You know.
So
you're a native colonizer. Cool, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So friends, let's start the show. Once again, I apologize, but there is an internet connection. So we're going to try to have fun today. There's 200 people watching on all platforms. I'm going to keep dropping the links of everybody in the show. Is a very difficult, not difficult topics, but I don't want y'all to go full blown. Okay, so let's have fun. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Today goals: 15 members and $100 via Cash App or PayPal for the Hamburger Fund. the online store. We're expecting it to open it once again. I've been promising y'all so much, but it is what it is, friends. I need to be a little bit more pressing because I love money. So Make America Untouchable Again merch coming soon to a
I'm making
store
a Make
near
America
you.
Fair
So
Again
friends, I
hat.
think it's time to start
MAFA.
the show. Let's do a little bit of icebreaker.
We're gonna have
and
a
then
MAFA
we
movement.
go from there. This is not Rage in the Cage. Let me close the cage for this one. Nope. I'm not going to close the cage. I don't trust Chaotic in the cage with y'all. Time to start the show.
It's time to do.
Icebreaker and the first one. Let me go ahead and let me put the timer on. This one is going to be interesting, okay? And I want I want us to have a flow conversation for now. I don't want to have like a one versus the other side. Okay. So the first question is, if Obama was as outspoken as Trump, would America lose its mind? If Obama was as outspoken as Trump, would America lose its mind? And I am going to add these two things. Could the black man get away with insulting war heroes, mocking the disabled, or question elections? Does Trump whiteness give him a license to wild out? You got it. Let's Tom and Chaotic open the conversations, and then we go from there. 10 minutes on the clock, but again, it's a stop cap. We can go a little bit overboard. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I
Time
would
to
say
go
most
first.
definitely the fact that Obama was probably the most presidential president of my lifetime. He didn't make up a bunch of random words and slur all the time like he was George Bush. He didn't call people a bunch of mean names or make up nicknames for everybody like Trump. He had to be the most presidential person and be as stiff as possible all the time. Now, he had a lot of swag. He told a lot of jokes. He was a funny guy, but I wouldn't say anywhere near as laid back and as willing to speak his mind as somebody like Trump, George Bush, even Bill Clinton. I would say that he was one of the most professional and presidential people we will probably see in our lifetime.
CT?
Fatty, I have lived in America for 40 years, and hopefully to be 40 more years plus some more decades. There's a thing in America. America is only one color in America matters, and that color is green. Obama was selected. Obama was an employee. He was not elected. So Obama could never have spoken out and just said what was on his mind. He had to be presidential because he had puppet masters all around him. It was clear as day. The difference between Trump and Obama is not a skin thing, it's a money thing. When you're a billionaire, I mean, God only knows how many billionaire friends and connections you have. Obama pretty much was off the streets to a degree. He was a senator, a newly minted senator of Chicago. Nobody knew him. And he wasn't that impressive, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, he was a lawyer, so he speaks lawyerese like every other lawyer does. Hell, my wife speaks just like that. So they have a way of speaking that is to somebody like me who probably has a lower IQ. Yeah, they do seem smart and witty, et cetera, et cetera. But no, Obama couldn't have done it. No. Now, if he was a billionaire and he came from good stock, oh, absolutely. Black, white, it wouldn't have mattered because black people, like any other people in the country, get away with a lot of things when they have money. Now, he's become very wealthy at post presidency, but no, he would have been tapped on his shoulder in some room. Somebody would have showed the film of JFK to him and said, "Get back in line, boy." As soon as he would have got out of line. So that's just me. That's just what I believe, Fatty.
Can I
Not
just ask you a
not
question?
only that, to add on to what you're saying, him being of color, and I purposely say of color and not black because he's not black. He's not
No.
Black American. He has an African father and a white mother, but he actually was deporter in chief. He deported more illegal immigrants than anyone else. Everyone forgets that. He dropped more bombs on, I can't remember, but y'all probably know, more bombs then he was able to commit some of the most wildest atrocities as a president, and he was able to do it because he was of color.
Well, until Trump
Everybody knows
ended
that.
up dropping more bombs than Obama did, but
On who? Because there weren't any wars when Trump was in office first
no, there
term.
were not. Yeah, and he still by far set the record on drone bombings during his presidency. But yeah,
Who did he drop bombs on?
all over
Yemen?
Syria. So drone bombings are just like normally one-off killings. You're trying to kill one person normally. But he got rid of a lot of the regulations that make it to where you're only supposed to kill one person that Obama had put into place during his presidency because he had so many problems. And so Trump got rid of those. He got rid of all of the laws that make it to where you have to report all of your drone bombings to make it to where there wasn't as much transparency anymore, and then racked up more drone bombings than any president before him. But it's kind of a technological thing. The more technology you have, the more likely you're going to use that technology. Trump, every president, one after another. Bill Clinton set a record. Bush set a record. Obama set the record. Trump set the record. It's just the more technology, the more records they're going to set.
I want to make sure we're not saying that Obama was able to deport as many people as he did because he was the quote unquote black president.
He had him in cages.
I don't see the logic in that.
He had him in cages, sir.
Well, that's not an answer to why his blackness had anything to do with his ability to do it.
His darkness.
She's saying that he wasn't called out on it. So Trump was called out for kids in cages, but Obama wasn't, right?
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Tom. Yeah.
Right. What I'm saying is this. You're saying what happened. You're not telling me how his blackness is the reason.
He was able to do it because he is of color. If he was a white president, if this was Donald Trump, and you could hate Donald Trump, and he's doing some stuff that's pissing me off right now too, because I'm with you on that whole stuff with that other nation that we can't talk about, Tom. But yeah, I definitely think because he was of color, he was able to do all of this wild stuff. Again, people come at Trump, and I'm not even gonna pick on Trump. Let's say it was any other white president. That man had them people in cages. You know what I'm saying? And everybody seems to forget that. So yeah, because
reparations,
because he was of color, that's how he was able, to get away with it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna stall this because I see what's happening now, but I just want to know if the panel understands there's a difference between assertions and substantiations. Right. So like you can make an assertion, but you're not providing any evidence to back up your assertion. So there's no real substantiation. You're just saying because I think it, then therefore it's
somebody
true.
in cages. Like you really think like okay.
Yeah, no, so you are correct that like Obama is the one who started the kids in cages thing, and he started doing that, and the media didn't ever call him out for it. Nobody really knew about it nor cared about it. And then all of a sudden Trump gets into office, they find out that Trump has kids in cages, and all of a sudden the media blows up about it. But the reason is because there wasn't a long line of things that made us think that Obama might be racist. He didn't talk about immigrants the same way that Trump did. And while both of them did deport people, Trump had very specific rhetoric. Oh, my mic's going out? Okay, sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I think it's about the rhetoric.
It's good. Go ahead, John.
I think it's about the rhetoric and not really the skin color. The way people say things actually matter. So when you have Trump talking the way he does, and you have Obama talking the way he did, obviously you're not going to think that Obama is deporting because of racism. And you might think that of Trump, even though I don't agree with it. I think the way he talks is just very theatrical. But I think it's more to do with the way he talks than Trump, that is, than
I
skin
think
color or anything.
John's touching on
Did you know
something.
that
I
there
think
was
we
a
see.
study done? Did you know that there was a study done, and basically the study found that the most racist the country was during Obama's term?
Yeah, I know that. I actually know that because Obama started.
1 second, friends. I want y'all to stay on topic. Okay.
because we are
Yeah.
going all around the place.
But I
Could he
think
get
Tom
away?
and
Well, this does apply to it. What they're talking about right now is whether or not the
Absolutely
rhetoric
applies.
applied, because when it came to
I think
BLM
Tom
or
and
Charlotte, you know, a bunch of rallies, alt-right rise, like a lot of these things did happen during the Obama administration. And if they're going to apply that to Obama, that would say that, like, because Trump got in trouble for every little thing that he ever said about the alt-right,
Yeah,
whereas
but
Obama
listen,
had a lot
isn't
of
that
issues.
isn't
Go
that
ahead,
just
Chris.
attained in media that the Democrat stuff gets kind of shoved under the table,
There you
and
go.
as soon as it's the other side, that gets blown out of proportion.
There you
I
go.
think that there is a difference, though.
That
That's why we
seems
were
to be a
bringing
better
up the
correlate
difference.
than skin color.
Well, that's why we brought up the
Right.
rhetoric, is because there is a difference in rhetoric. So if, like, let's say somebody comes in and this person never says anything that any of us deem to be racist, they never say anything that we think is like on the line, or, you know, they never say anything about race whatsoever. And then all of a sudden they do something like, you know, they say something like, it's okay to be white, right? Well, we're not going to think much of it because in context, that person just doesn't have a whole lot of red flags. But if somebody else consistently has a whole lot of red flags, where they're consistently using rhetoric that we do find to be either racist or on the line where we're not sure exactly how they're saying it, and then they say something like, it's okay to be white, now we're like, whoa, I don't know about this guy. Everybody who is racist, they're not people who are just running around screaming the N-word with the hard R all the time. These are people who come right up to the line and then stop there because they don't want to fall out of what's like the consensus says is allowable language.
Yeah, I
And I
also
want to
just
make
want to
sure
know
I
what.
want to make sure the audience notices this. Those were two substantiations, right? You see that? So one was the media, which I was going to bring up. Shout out to you, sir, for bringing it up, because that's where I was going. Because we talk about how the media is all the time, and it's very left leaning, right? And so therefore, I would have said that more so than anything, because if I remember correctly, and I don't follow politics as hard as the rest of you, but I think when Joe Biden was in office, there were people in cages, right? So the fact of the matter is, that's what I'm saying, it's not necessarily about the color, but it's about the way that the media swings, right? Versus blue versus red, conservative versus liberal, Democratic versus Republican. And then and to the Tom Foolery and John's point about the way that the particular guys themselves talk. Right. So if I am a person who speaks highly against these folks, anything I'm doing to them will be highlighted that much more.
I still wanted to know if Obama said the same things that Trump says if he could get away with it.
Yo, Fatty, I'll actually say this. So probably not, because he was the first quote unquote dark melanin president. So he had more that he was representing than I guess any president before him. But let's be honest, fellas, he's the only one that could have dropped the N-bomb and it would have been cool. So
Fatty, what are you asking? Are you asking would he have become president? Like doing a presidential campaign?
No, he's
Wow,
saying
he
would
was a
people have
student.
gotten mad? So let's say like Trump, he makes up a bunch of nicknames for people, right? And he says like outlandish things. He'll say crazy things all the time that if Obama did it, people would have called it ghetto. They would have called it like, you know, street slang. They would have called it hood actions,
So you're
stuff like
talking
that.
about wow, he's a sitting president.
While he's
Yeah.
a sitting president, and this is why the topic is rolling on the bottom, and I give prefaces every time before I actually throw the ball at y'all. I said, could a black man get away with insulting war heroes, mocking disabled, or questioning elections? Does Donald Trump whiteness let him get away with stuff while Obama has to be perfect? Because, like you guys say, he's the first black president. There's not a precedent. It's like having a first. If you get the first, like imagine that you get Hillary Clinton or Kamala, and she's going wild, and
If
that
you
sets
guys-
the precedent for every woman and black people that go after her.
If you guys remember, there was Obama, when I say he was probably the most presidential president of our lifetime, this guy still got crap for every little thing that he ever did. Do you guys remember Tan Suit Gate? There was a whole thing for an entire month about the fact that Obama wore a tan suit. How dare he? He doesn't know what he's doing. This is so unpresidential. How he's coming in here like he doesn't know what this office is and he doesn't respect the office wearing a tan suit. But then immediately we go see tons of pictures of Bill Clinton wearing tan suits, tons of pictures of Bush wearing tan suits, Reagan wearing tan suits. Nobody ever said a word about it. But all of a sudden Obama wears a tan suit. Now it's disrespectful to the office.
Yeah, but people just like throwing shit, right? That's got nothing to do with what his capacity was for saying stuff.
Yeah,
no, I'm saying that he had a higher level of scrutiny, that he had to live up to a much higher level of scrutiny, whereas Trump, he gets to say whatever he wants, talk however he wants, insult people however he wants. And if Obama did those things, people would have called it ghetto. They would have said that he's insulting the office. They would have said he's hoodlum.
Trump also gets shit, right?
I don't
Trump also
think
gets shit for saying things. So it's not like Trump says this, say all of these things, and then no one says anything. Every day there's a new news on the media talking about Trump or J.D. Vance or any of these new elected or the new elected president. So
yeah, but Obama never would have won in the first place if he talked like that. Whereas Trump,
that is a different thing.
That's why I asked the question. That's why.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a woman right now who is loud, who's abrasive, who
Jasmine Crockett.
Yes, who curses, and they are talking about this woman being the front runner for 2028. Now, if this was a white woman, and let's keep it a buck, when it was Marjorie, because everybody brings up Marjorie Taylor Greene. I can't remember Marjorie Taylor Greene saying even outright blatantly cursing like Jasmine Crockett does. So
sure,
I'm just
she's
saying,
a Christian, but she does say things like the Jews have lasers in space that are changing the weather and crap like that. Like she says insanely outlandish stuff pretty consistently.
So Kelly, but that's exactly the point. She is ghetto just like Donald Trump. She says crazy shit just like Donald Trump. And people will point out and say how ridiculous she is by mocking disabled people, by calling them motherfucker Hot Wheels. And then there's Trump doing,
They don't do that.
And everybody clapping. This is the 1 second. This is the double standard that we're seeing about. He can get away with anything because he floods the market with so many news, like Juan said, day after day after day, that people forget about it. What he said a week ago.
I don't even think
says something.
People talk about Trump.
I think the times were actually different. So in 2008, people weren't this crazy, weren't this polarized, like left against the rights. It's like the enemy. You can't only not be racist, you have to be anti-racist. Like people weren't this polarized. So
that's
maybe Trump in 2008 wouldn't like even get 10% or 20%.
And João, that started with who? Obama.
With Obama, actually.
And that's what I'm talking about. Trump wouldn't exist without Obama. So and this is actually my second question, podcast, because I know I want to say something. You can get the microphone first, okay? And this is still icebreaker. I'm not going to choose who goes first, but let me introduce this. Is white victimhood is replacing white supremacy. White victimhood is replacing white supremacy. What do we mean by this? Is the rise in complaints about anti-white discrimination just a repackaged fear of equality? Is America heading towards a cultural war where race resentment fuels everything? Okay, I can repeat again the second part, but white victimhood is replaced white supremacy. What is your thoughts on that, Mr. Podcast? And then we go to Chris, and then everybody can have the microphone.
Okay, so I just want to answer the last question really quickly. So I would say this. I would just give Trump, I wouldn't say fatty, I wouldn't say it's his whiteness, even though emotionally I want to say that. But logically, I think it's more his celebrity, right? I think the fact that he's a celebrity plays more into what he's able to get away with more so than his whiteness does. But to answer the question that you're saying right now, no, I don't think white victimhood is replacing white supremacy. I think white victimhood is a product of the media. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist at all, but it is also a minority of people, and I don't think it's replacing the everlasting white supremacy.
Chris?
So, man, I would say I don't really think there is this whole white supremacy thing, man. I think each culture, all of that has their own kind of supremacy in certain ways, different things they're good at. CT said it well. Ultimately, if you want to know true supremacy, it's green. It's called money. That's true supremacy, no matter where you go in the world, no matter what color you are. And then on the whole victimhood stance of that, I live in I live in an interesting country where the white people are the minority, used to run the country, and now they're kind of being attacked, man. So I've seen a different side of this. Unfortunately, the shift in, or the lingering on things from the past is a real thing. So if we are a playbook for what might happen in America, then there's a high chance it would lead to white people becoming the victim. It's just kind of this, and it's seen as an equalizer for things that happened in the past. It just
Well,
gets
is the
shoved under
question
the.
What's your country?
Is the question limited? Is the question limited to America, or is it a global question?
No, it's because he's from South Africa and
I'm South
João is from
African.
Portugal too. So they kind of bring another pieces of it. But I'll say that South Africa probably has one of the most singular histories in the planet when it comes to the white and black people type of relationship. So your point of view is kind of understandable. I don't think it kind of correlates to the American version because go ahead, you
What
guys.
so my whole point in bringing that up is if we can see how a shift in times change kind of the attitude of the racial dynamics, if it's anything like our country, then it's possibly gonna happen, right? Let's hope it doesn't happen in America, but it's when the polar shift happens, unfortunately it has a bad situation that comes with it, because some things, obviously lingering feelings from the past and then justification for bad things leads to bad things. So ultimately I'm hoping that that doesn't happen in America, but it seems to become a trend now as white men specifically are kind of seen as the shittest class everybody can make fun of. It's fine, it's not a problem.
Well, I wanted to hear
So it's a
Podcast
bad
answer
trend.
again, because he was answering whether or not it's replacing it, but I think Fatty's asking, is this like a new form of it? It doesn't necessarily replace it. He's saying, is this a new form of white supremacy? Is what it is.
The victimhood mentality.
And by the way, I want to know if he's real too, because like the same way a lot of people say, "Oh, this is a hoax. This doesn't exist. This is people playing victim and using it to just weaponize their victimhood."
I think it's both.
Like, does this actually exist? Is the white man, the white male heterosexual man, being oppressed and being victimized in society?
Yeah, his name's covered up, but I wanted to hear him answer it again, because he was answering whether or not it was replacing it, and I wanted to hear him answer whether or not he thought that this was like a new form. But it says podcast on the
a new form of,
and then João, you got it.
Yeah, because right on the ticker it said white victimhood is replacing, right? But so supremacy in itself is the idea that I am supreme to you, right? I am better than you. Therefore, I am ordained even by God to govern you, right? Victimhood in itself would not be equated to that, so it wouldn't be an equivalent.
Okay,
So
I would say it definitely is. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say it definitely is, because the problem is that if, like, let's say black people on average are getting paid way less, they're way more likely to go to jail, they're way less likely to graduate from college or graduate from high school, more likely to have issues with drugs. And then as soon as white people have a very, very small taste of this, they make a very big deal about it, while still denying that black people have a problem there. I would say that if every time you get a little taste of this issue that black people have been dealing with disproportionately to white people for a very long time, and all of a sudden it's now a big problem, yes, I would definitely say that this is like a new way of kind of expressing that white people's problems are more important than everybody else's.
Agree.
Fatty, I think it's both. So, for example, I saw a stat like a few months ago where I think they scanned some social media. I don't know if it was X or Facebook or Instagram, but 80% of the speech about racism, it's against white people in any form, like any type of form. So, yeah, there's for sure a shift in who to hate, at least. I think Obama was one of the main culprits of it, and you can see the shift in social media and in media, the traditional media. But I do think,
but how does that work though? Like, I wish we could get more conversation. You said Obama is the reason why, but what exactly is the reason?
Because he polarized more of the he polarized the population. It's not really it's not really hard to understand. Like Obama had a lot of takes that
let me just interrupt you for a second, John, because this is why I think you're being unfair. When we say guilt, usually is the person did something to do it. The only thing he did was being black, and 50 million white people said I'm not represented. I hate that dude. Let's go
I
ahead
don't
and
think
go
it
to the
was
other
that.
side.
I really don't think it was that.
What did
because
Obama do exactly to make the country so
it
polarized?
was during
Obama.
It was during Obama 2 terms that the woke things actually started. It was I was a social media marketing. It was around 2012 that the woke media started. It did nothing. He was actually happy about it, but I'm not going to go there. But I think both things can be true. So there's a victimhood, which is true. So white people in social media are being attacked, not really like attacked, but being attacked. And the white supremacists are playing the victim card to manipulate other whites against minorities, being migrants, being black people, any type of people. So the 2 things I think are happening right now, because I follow both left and I follow the right in Portugal, and I see a lot of extremists on the right, racist people, legitimate racist people, and they use the victim cards.
Sure, John. Can I give you a specific example and get you to engage with it then? Because obviously you're correct that in some examples some things will be true, and other examples other things will be true. But if we think about the last time that a bunch of white supremacists or alt-righters went to Charlottesville and they all started marching with tiki torches, chanting, "Jews will not replace us." Right? This is all of a sudden them saying, well, because so many immigrants, brown, black, all sorts of people who are not white are coming into our country, we are being replaced. This is a victim mentality that says that just by these people existing, they are being replaced. This is a huge problem for them, that they're being like bred out of their out of the population. But this is if like black people had the same issue or had issues with white supremacy or being bred out or things like that, it would not be treated the same. Do you think that like this is another example where all of a sudden white issues are more important?
I think there's, and this I'm in Europe, so Europe is suffering a huge wave of migrants for around 10 years now. And the thing is, some things, I know it's really hard to agree with some things that people say, and those people are racist and they are right. You don't agree with them on the, how can I say it? You don't agree with them on everything, but you agree with them in this particular point, and that's my stand.
Well, sure, but so, it's totally possible that some of these things are true, but the problem is that they over hyperbolize it a lot of times. The H-1B issue is a perfect example of where but it doesn't even have to be extreme right. Is what I'm talking about. Is I'm saying that the H-1B issue is something where a bunch of people ran around saying that they're bringing in Indians from other countries to come and replace white people and their jobs, but then you go look at the actual stats and it shows that white men are only, 35% of the country, yet are 70% of STEM fields. And that's what H-1B visas are brought into work in. They're brought into work in the STEM field. Yet they're 70% of STEM, yet are 35% of the country. That seems like white men are very disproportionately represented in this field, yet they're still whining and complaining that a very small amount of people are coming in and replacing them.
It wasn't just that.
Hold on real quick. But the thing is this, though. Here's the wait, real quick. I would give them this, though, right? Because I would say, I think what it is, the problem is that it's way more white people than it is anybody else, right? When they talk, shit matters. We listen. It just is what it is. They control what big percentage of the media is and all of that, right? So I don't think it's necessarily that they're saying our problems are more important. They're just being loud about their problems. The same way
but if they don't care about anybody else's, that matters. If the same exact people, when it happens to a
Tom,
black person, they deny that it's a problem.
Tom, here's the thing. Tom, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you because I'm grown and I'm smarter now. I don't give a shit if you care about black people's problems if you're not in a position to do anything about them. Right? So if you sitting at home on your couch just like me, a regular guy, I don't care if you don't care about my problems at all. I care about the people who are in a position to do something about them, whether or not they care, because they're the ones who have to make the decisions.
I agree with you to an extent, but if we're talking about wealthy white people who are on the internet, who are debating things all the time, and they have a vote, these are people, if they are also denying these things while saying those aren't real issues, systemic racism doesn't exist.
Wait, hold on real quick.
Most American white people that are really rich.
Can we be genuine? Are the wealthy white people the ones complaining?
Yes.
No, they even want more migrants, right? Am I
yes.
reading this?
No. If we're talking about Charlie Kirk, if we're talking about a bunch of
1 second, please. They actually are. Elon Musk is the richest white man on the planet, and he's on Twitter complaining all day and retweeting.
Yeah, but that's Elon
his
Musk.
rhetoric.
He's complaining about being replaced.
He's
in South Africa.
Elon Musk is literally retweeting like South African.
It wasn't just white people that was complaining about it. I'm on X and I'm on the conservative side. A lot of black people were complaining about it too, because it is taking away jobs from black people that were in STEM. And it wasn't just a STEM thing too. It was Indians also coming in with on that H-1 visa thing, working
H-1B visas only apply to STEM.
I thought y'all like meritocracy. I thought y'all like capitalism. I thought y'all like capitalism.
What'd you say, Fatty?
Yeah, I thought y'all like meritocracy. I thought y'all said pull yourself by the bootstrap. If you're good enough, you should have the spot.
That's my argument.
Doesn't that actually prove racism?
Well, hold on.
One second. Hey, 1 second, please. The Indian dude and the Chinese dude are way better than us, and they're not getting the job because they are Indian and Chinese. Doesn't that prove that we are actually people being racist about it? Because it should be about competency. If that man is a better programmer than me, he should get the job, right?
No. That's not true. I totally disagree with that. No, it's not true, because the government's job is to make sure that their citizens are taken care of first. If we actually don't, if we don't have jobs, hold on. If we actually, hold on. Let me finish. If we actually don't have the jobs, if we have if we have high unemployment rates, we do not want to bring in more people to be unemployed in our country, put them on more welfare. That is not what we want to do. But the problem is that within STEM field, which is all the H-1B visas apply to, they only apply to STEM. They have a very normal unemployment rate, and they have a very high openings or job openings rate. Like, they are looking for people at very high rates. There is nobody that's being replaced. They keep bringing in people on H-1B visas, and they still are looking. They still have like a 4% rate of people looking for 4% rate of jobs that are unfilled.
Hey Tom, I agree with you, but McDonald's is still hiring. Okay, pull yourself by the bootstraps. I don't care if you stayed 5 years in college to get a shitty degree that is not going to give you a well-paying job. If you don't like it, get the fuck out of my country.
I don't understand all of this drama with the H-1B1 visas. Listen, man, if America's number one, you want to keep America number one. Bring in the people that are the best. That's how you stay the best. Don't bitch about it. If there's Americans in America that don't want to kick ass, that's their problem. The government doesn't need to worry about them. Bring in people that are the shit and keep winning. Stay number one.
Imagine the same people that are celebrating South African running the American government, saying that they don't want foreigners to do
that's our secret agent. He snuck in.
That's the problem, though.
Hold on.
If H-1B visas actually did that, I would agree with you. But H-1B visas are a guarantee for a job, and you don't know that they're actually more qualified or better than the people who were already here. So if we did have a high unemployment rate in these job sectors, we would not want to bring in people who we don't know whether or not they are highly qualified or highly skilled at all, and then guarantee them a job here that other people who are already here could fill and could be better, but we have no idea. They're just guaranteed a job off the H-1B visa
Well, dude,
system.
listen, that's why I said my position is
again,
I've
it does
looked
not
into
just
getting
say
these
STEM.
visas because I'm highly qualified at what I do. They check through your asshole with a fine-tooth comb, man.
Damn.
There's no way you make it to America unless your shit is clean. You
Damn.
gotta be the best to get that fucking visa and come to America. You get checked.
And you better change
Who's
that
the
name.
mindset?
You have to be the best to
Mr.
work in STEM in the
Lau.
first place.
Exactly.
Why do y'all keep saying it's just STEM? It's not just STEM. I'm looking at it right
H-1B
now.
visas only apply to STEM.
You're wrong, sir. I'm looking at it right now. It says specialty occupations, and they had listed. It was cooks on there. It had 7-Eleven jobs on there. Like you can Google, it was on there.
But that's just bad policy.
I have Googled them. Those are people who came over on the visas, but that doesn't mean that that's what they were brought over for. The initial H-1B visa is for STEM field, specialty positions. That's STEM field. And so it's tech, it's science, it's math, like it's all STEM fields. And then sometimes they get over here and maybe they get fired. Maybe they have a spouse that's like with them and got in here on the H-1B visa as well. And they're working a different job. But those are that's like less than 1% of the people coming in on H-1Bs.
Okay,
Yeah, but just so that we don't dumb down the audience, right? What she is saying is because it's not specifically for STEM, let's not say it because it's just not true.
Well, I'm saying
No.
And I agree with her.
Are not
But you're
limited
wrong.
to tech jobs.
Right. All of the data says you're wrong.
No, I'm not. It's not. It doesn't.
No.
I just explained
No.
how it doesn't. All right, sorry, go ahead.
1 second. One second.
No, H-1B visas are not limited to tech jobs.
No,
the
STEM
H-1B
jobs.
visa program is designed for specialty occupations, which require the
Yes.
application of specialized knowledge and at least a bachelor's degree or its equivalent in the specific field.
Mhm.
While it's true that a significant number of H-1B visas are granted for roles in the technology sector, the program also encompasses a wide range of other professions. For
Again,
instance,
I should STEM, not
H-1B visas
tech.
have been approved for positions in finance, engineering, architecture, medicine, and education.
He's right. All of them are STEMs. So
Yeah,
so
science,
yes.
technology, and engineering and
Yes.
medicine.
So he's right on that. Let me go to the last icebreaker with Kelly
So
and John.
communications and public relations are STEM?
No, because when they do the communication, this is a lot of times is to get like executives. So they
Well,
put
no,
like the regular.
No, that'll apply to like say Facebook is a company that
Yes.
falls within STEM, but they still have to hire people for other things. But the entire like sector is STEM. They just have to hire
So-
people for other jobs within that.
So they use
program.
it like they use it like
Oh,
communication.
the sector is STEM,
Yeah,
not the actual position.
They use it for
Right.
communications, but for example, they are hiring an exec for OpenAI or something like that.
Yeah.
Which means you're going to be placed in STEM, but your position might not be like being coded and shit. Okay. This is the
Okay.
last one as an icebreaker, then we go from there. There's 347 people watching in all platforms. Please like the video. The likes are for free. I'm going to start to pump the links after we get this thingy, and then we go actually for the more serious topics. So the last one, this one for Kelly and for John. Black men are abandoning the Democratic Party. Do they really support Republicans, or are they punishing them that take the black votes for granted while pandering to other groups? Ladies, first.
It's time to do.
Well, to answer your question, yes, Black men are leaving the Democratic Party. There's been a substantial exodus of the Democratic Party from Black men since 2016, and it has increasingly gone up. Do I think that these Black men are aligning with Republican? No, I think most of them are probably just independent, and I think they are voting their interest. And right now, with the current climate, I think their interests are leaning on the conservative side. I do not think it is to spite the Democratic Party. I just think right now the Republican Party just has more to offer. You know, tax cuts, just a multitude of things. I think black men are no longer Democrats and, like I said, independent. But yeah, voting, because last election, voting red. but they're not Republicans.
So you think it's a more of a protest vote? Is not they actually fuck with the Republicans?
I don't think it's a protest vote. I genuinely think they are voting based on policy. That's what I think. I don't think it's to spite the Democratic Party. I think the Republican Party right now just has more to offer Black men right now. And I'm gonna say this, like, even I think a lot of people have left the Democratic Party. Like, I know you're a leftist or a progressive. The progressives that I know, they're not even rocking with the Democratic Party. They're independent or they're Green Party. Like, the Democratic Party right now is not the party of the middle class. They're backed by big business billionaires. A lot of special interest groups. They are pro-war. We saw the last administration, a lot of war going on. I just think a lot of true leftist progressives are leaving the Democratic Party. But to answer your question, Black men, I do not think it is a protest. I think conservative Republicans right now just have more to offer them, and that's why they're voting that way.
So yeah, when you try to be super inclusive, you start to be exclusive, and that's what I feel about the Democratic Party and most of the left. Even though the Democrats weren't really left like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe. And I think Black people are just voting for the policies. It's kind of funny to see how things are shifting in the political sphere over the entire world, not only the US, because more and more people, more and more Black people, more and more minorities are voting on the right side because they care about economics, they care about being better, in having a better quality of life, and not really about being so inclusive that you get left out. And I think it's just that. I think it's shifting. It shifted like almost 100 years ago when the Democrats wanted to keep slavery. The Republicans actually abolished slavery. And now it's shifting again.
Was that before or after the party switched sides?
The parties never switched.
So the parties never switched. The Democrats didn't become Republicans. The Republicans didn't become Democrats.
No, just the ideas.
It 100% did. If you go back, yes. If you go back to the conservatives were Democrats a long time ago. Christian conservatives were conservative. They just were. It's just you can go look.
So the Democrats were pro-slavery, and the Republicans said, "No, we need to stop this."
Well, it wasn't just about conservatism when it came to being pro-slavery.
The parties didn't switch in between. There was not a switch when it comes.
No,
to
you want me to explain it? Because I've looked into it. The parties.
I've also looked into it. I can get into the Southern strategy all day.
I'm not disputing what you're saying, Tom. I'm not disputing that. To answer Fatty's question, yes, the Republican Party was the party that was the abolitionist party. That was the party that was all the Black people. To the first 23 Black senators were Republicans. I guess that's what it was. Now the lie that is pushed is that in, I want to say 1969, the party switched, and everybody likes to bring up the Strom Thurmond was the reason why. There was it was Barry Goldwater. This is the lie, that Barry Goldwater, when he was running for president, I can't remember the year. I want to say it was in the 60s, that when Barry Goldwater was running for president, he had this secret meeting, and he was going to try to appeal to the racist white Democrats in the South. There's no evidence to prove that meeting ever took place. They try to use a quote or something where it was I want to say the Republican, what was it? The Republican chair. Again, there were no notes that was ever met. And if he really did have this secret plan, why didn't he win substantially? Like, he probably was the second, the second worst candidate to ever run. Like, he didn't even the states in the South did not flip, because that was the whole argument, was that there was this flip. And then they also tried to say that Nixon was the one that flipped the party. This is what happened. And it was the 1969 the Civil Rights Act of 1969, Barry Goldwater felt like that the civil rights that people should be able to have anybody they want to have in their establishment. He felt like that went under the First Amendment. And a lot of Black people did vote Democrat because they wanted, they supported that civil rights. And Black people did more so start voting Democrat, but there was no party. What happened? I mean, there was no party switch because the white people, they continue to just vote based on their policy. That's the back.
If I can just give some context for people listening, it's called the Southern Strategy. Well, I just wanted to explain it for listeners real quick. I'm going to let you go. I'm not making an argument. But
and Joe, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah, it's called the Southern Strategy. It's the idea is that Democrats at the time were racist, and so they decided to Republicans at the time decided, oh, we're going to go into the South and target all of the racists and use racist rhetoric to get all of the racists on the Democrat side to start voting Republican with us. And so they call it the party switch, where they say that it's called the Southern Strategy. She is correct that there is no evidence that this was a specific strategy that they said we're going to be racist to get votes. There's not real strong evidence for that, but it is true that conservatives were voting Democrat in the South, and then eventually they started voting Republican. It's just the idea that it was based on racism is kind of a theory more so than anything else. But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so besides that, the policy change and trying to be too inclusive, there's also this little thing, which is two-party system in the USA. So even if you don't align with Donald Trump, for example, with all of his policies, you don't have any other choice unless you voted in this last election for Kamala. So it's just easier to follow the policy. Okay, I don't like Donald Trump. Most people don't like Donald Trump, but they still voted for him because of the policies, not because he's white, not because he can say a lot of crazy shit, but because of the policies.
But Joe, how can you say that? How can we say Black people in mass vote on Donald Trump on Obama because he was Black? Why are we? It sounds like we're being disingenuous. You see what I'm saying? A lot of women, like we are tribalists. A lot of women voted on Hillary and Kamala because they were women. That's fair. A lot of Black people voted on Obama because he was Black. Why not say that a lot of people voted on Trump because he was
no,
white?
I'm talking about the black people.
Absolutely.
They just didn't vote for Kamala because she's a chick, bro.
You're all misogynistic, right?
I don't think that that's really the reason. I think that like Trump is really good at using rhetoric. During his presidency, he did have a really good economy. The evidence that he made the economy a really good economy isn't really there, but he claims the win. He claims that W and says, look at the numbers. I had a great economy. That means that I was much better. Look at Joe Biden's economy. He had tons of inflation. That means that he's way worse. The entire world had inflation during Obama's term. It was right after COVID. Everybody was dealing with tons of inflation. It wasn't just America. And America had the fastest recovery from it. And we had the best recovery where wages were a little bit higher compared to the inflation. And so we ended up having the best recovery. But Trump likes to just point at the numbers. And obviously, Black people live disproportionately in poverty a bit more than everybody else. And so if they're looking at somebody where they say, wow, he's right. We did have we had better wages. We didn't have so much inflation. He did have a better economy. He's right on the numbers. So I'm going to go vote for him because I want to have a better economy and a better life. It just, yeah, but Black people voted 14% for Trump in 2020. Black people voted at 14% for Trump in 2024. Wasn't a huge jump, but it is a big jump from 2016 where it was only 8%. So
let me get chaotic and podcast before we actually start the show. We are on our mark. So once again, I appreciate you for the icebreakers podcast and then chaotic to wrap it up. Do you think Black men are leaving when I say leaving, the numbers increased a little bit. It's not that they're leaving. Like a majority Black people still voted on the Democrats. It's not a
you are correct. Men went up.
Yes,
but Black people overall.
Yes, men were. Do you think they actually, like Kelly said, they see themselves, they see the policies on the other side, and they're going there? Or do you think he's a protest vote? These guys are not doing what I'm going to do. Let me go to the other side and vote on that side. What do you think?
Go ahead, Banks.
Um, a 2% difference between Trump and Biden, I would call that a protest. I don't. Most black people, and particularly I'll speak anecdotally that I know, they don't even study politics. They don't vote for people because they watch them and know what their policies are and what they're planning on applying once they get into office. So
You mean Kamala
I
in
would call
Biden?
it a protest. Say that again.
Did you mean Kamala in Biden? You said Trump and Biden. Am I gone?
Men voted 2% more conservatively this time than last time. That's not a really big shift, and I think that's more of a protest than anything. And the reason why is I think the Democratic Party is starting to just look like a bunch of victims at this point. I think that's how people look at it. Black people are just starting to see black men, the men that they are listening to, just the Kevin Samuels, the Tates, and these type of guys, just so happen to be also conservative people. And so I think that is kind of like a protest against the left to get it together.
How was that a protest, Beans? You just gave a reason as to why. Like you just said that they didn't like the femininity of the Democratic Party. Like to me, that's a reason to not support.
Absolutely. So, but the question was, and if I may be wrong, my memory
You
is
are right,
used to be.
podcast. It's because the question was, are they actually having policy solutions that attract these people, or are they just living because they're tired of the trans talk and the woman talk and the black talk? So they're saying that's what Biden was, kind of. At least we're not Trump. At least we're not Trump. It could be worse. At least we're not Trump. So instead of people saying these people on the right side, they have better ideologies, they have better policies, they're saying, I don't want to be on a party that the only thing they have to offer is at least we are not them.
I got
So
you.
they're,
Okay.
so they're
I see what
picking
you're saying.
so they're picking the other side for the most part. Chaotic, what do you, and I'm sorry because I forgot that you were going to go like, I apologize, sir.
You good? From what I'm seeing, that black men aren't even interested in the body politic. I think it was 5% of all voters were just black men in the last election. No, black men aren't leaving the Democratic Party because black men aren't a part of any damn party. For the most part, a lot of black men voted from the couch this time. I mean, clearly, the popularity between Kamala and Trump was damn near Super Bowl epic levels, but that got the attention of a lot more people. But your average black man could care less. Your average black man does not feel a part, in my opinion. Right? I don't have any data to substantiate this claim, but your average black man probably doesn't even feel a part of this government because of being brainwashed to believe that white supremacy is holding them down, or brainwashed to believe that they are not an integral part of this country. But no, no, not at all. I don't think so. And truth be told, if you ask me, you put somebody else that is a good contender the next time and not a complete idiot like Kamama, you'll get more black men back on the Democratic side in a heartbeat, because the Republican side is the side of responsibility and accountability. So that's why anybody would be, well, that's why you have Democrats, because Democrats don't want to be accountable for anything. So, yeah.
So
Go
thank
ahead,
you
sir.
very much. Friends, we're going to start the back and forth now. After this point, we need to raise your hands so we can see who is in favor and against, and then we go from there. Please, people, don't try to kill each other, please. Uh, First question, and I need arms in the air if you guys agree or disagree. And once again, thank you very much for the 360 people watching in all platforms. I'm going to start dropping the links now for everybody. So please go ahead and follow them. They are friends of the show, okay? So the first question is Is white guilt productive or performative? I want y'all to respond to this follow-up question, and see who agrees or disagree. Should white people feel guilty about past injustice? Raise your hand if you agree with that. Should white people feel guilty about past injustice? Everybody disagrees. Perfect. Is white guilt productive or performative? Which one? Let's go with productive if you agree. Is white guilt productive? No, nobody agrees with it. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Um, do black celebrities have a responsibility to speak on race? Agree or disagree? If you agree, put your arm up. Do black celebrities have responsibilities to speak on race?
Yeah.
Nobody. Oh,
Yeah.
Chris and Tom. So Chris and Tom are on the same side. Let me get Tom over here, and let me bring Chaotic to the middle of the stage because they are the team captains. Chris, is this a hard position or a soft position?
Man, I think if you're of any race, I guess you can speak about your race, right? Who else knows more than you? And I think it's productive having people that are successful, especially talk to people that are of the same race.
Okay, I kind of understand that. So let's start the clock with 10 minutes. I would like Tom to give the initial statement why he agrees with that, and then we go to the rest of the panel. Go ahead, Tom. You got this.
Yeah, I would say that just about anybody who has any sort of issues with the way that things are going has some sort of responsibility to do what they can to make a change. That is part of living in a society. That is part of living in a democracy, is that you do your part. People who have a bigger platform and people who are celebrities, people who have the ear of the people, they have more of a responsibility than other people who don't have a big following and don't have the ears of the people. So we can put everybody on a spectrum and say everybody has a responsibility to some extent. But obviously, the more of a following you have, the more responsibility you have. Does that mean that you have to speak up on every little thing? Does that mean that the way that people went after LeBron or Michael Jordan for not speaking up all the time was a good thing, or was the way that we should go about things? Probably not. But it is true that I would say living in a society, everybody has some responsibility to speak up about injustices, and that people with bigger platforms have more of a responsibility to do so.
Kelly, before Chaotic jumps in, why do you disagree?
I don't think anybody owes anybody anything. I don't think black celebrities, first of all, a lot of black celebrities, I'm not gonna say black celebrities. I think a lot of celebrities are stupid. So to expect them to speak on something that they have they don't know anything about, I think that's very unfair. We could look back at Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat, people felt like, not people, but Harris's campaign reached out to him. That her campaign wanted her to be on his platform to stream, because this was right after Trump was on Aiden Ross's stream. Kai said, I don't deal with politics. I don't want any parts of this. I don't want to speak on that. And I felt like if he had, it would have been negative. I think it would have hurt him, So I am of the opinion, I don't think anybody owes anything to anybody. I don't think any singular black person owes anything to the black race. I just don't feel that way.
Well, and that's what I was saying. It doesn't have to apply to every single issue. That's why I said I brought up the Michael Jordan and LeBron James examples, because a lot of times when like BLM was happening, a lot of people got upset with LeBron James because he wasn't more outspoken about BLM. I don't think that you have to speak up on every little issue. And so Kai Cenat saying, yeah, I don't want to have to like have somebody on my stream where this will hurt my brand, just the same as Michael Jordan didn't want to go full in on the Democrats because Republicans buy shoes too. was the, famous quote that he had. I'm not saying that they have to speak up on every single thing, but I do know that Kai's talked about like racial issues. He's talked a lot about problems that he's had, and this is something that educates his audience and makes it to where they understand these issues a little bit better. I think that him just saying something about these things is beneficial, and if instead of doing that, he pulled a full-on Candace Owens and instead was like, no, actually, white people are the real victims. There's no racism against black people anymore. And that's the way that he was influencing his audience. I would say he's using that outsized responsibility in a more negative way now.
Your answer should be no.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I just feel like I get what you're saying. I just feel like I don't think that that's their responsibility. That's just my opinion.
No, nobody has a responsibility to say shit, right? Ultimately, you can do what you want, but Tom mentioned it. You have a responsibility if you have an increased audience or platform or people looking up to you. That carries a certain weight and responsibility, right? It's the polar opposite of the nice parts of being a celebrity. But ultimately, yeah, you don't have to say anything. You shouldn't have to be forced to say anything, but people have a right to free speech, right? So if you want to talk about it, you can talk about it.
Agreed.
But the question was about, do they have a responsibility, right? Which is what I'm saying. To me, Tom, I think Tom is kind of like speaking out both ends.
Well, no,
respectfully, right? Well, it's okay. It's okay to let me express, and then you can tell me whether or not I'm wrong. But the reason why is because if you say I have a responsibility, then I don't get to pick and choose what I speak about. So because that's going to mean whatever issue is affecting my people, when the microphone is in my face, I need to be willing to say something, right? The reason why I didn't say yes is because I don't think people have to say anything, right? But if you say, I'm a wealthy person, I'm a person that got 2 billion followers, right? And somebody put a microphone in my face, my personal expectation is answer the damn question. Speak up for your people, right? But the responsibility in itself, I say this all the time, and Fetty knows I'm not lying. If you're not gonna check everything, then don't check nothing. You got a problem with the way one person act on the panel, but you let this other person get away with all this other shit. So if you're not gonna check it all, don't check nothing. Just be quiet.
So this is why I want to introduce a subtopic real quick, right? Should we hold it against them? Is their silence just self-preservation, or are we being complicit? Like it happened with LeBron James a couple of years ago.
Or Fetty,
about the
maybe
thing.
sometimes
Nobody
the
wanted.
problem
They say, "No, you're talking about this. Why are you not talking about China? Because China is where this kind of Jews came from." Right?
Man, I don't think you should hold them responsible.
Should we use the? Should we? Since they can choose to be silent or they can choose to talk, should we hold their silence against them?
Wait. I want to just clarify one thing about that question, Fatty, and that's it. Are you saying if asked, or are you just saying they just hop on the Instagram and start talking?
So let me pause the clock so I can expand a little bit, right? We see, for example, black NBA players kneeling, Black Lives Matter, and all that. Mm-hmm. And when people say, what about the exterminations of Muslims in China? Why don't you talk about that, LeBron? And there's no reply. There's a clear silence, meaning I don't know what the fuck with this, but Mike checks from the side. I'm going to be quiet, right? Mm-hmm. We can extrapolate to a bunch of topics. Some athletes will be very adamant about talking about certain things, like you said, but then they're going to pick and choose. When they don't talk about others, that kind of is convenient. Right. My question is, should we hold it against them when they don't open their mouth, when they are clearly vocal about everything? I'm not talking about the athlete that is quiet about everything. He doesn't want to talk about politics, doesn't talk about nothing. Like, should we hold it against them? Tom, you can respond to what Bean said. Who was the one to talk to? Because I think it was John, right?
It was
okay. So reply to him, John, and then we go back to this little question that I asked. Go ahead, Tom.
So I am saying that I do think that they have a responsibility to speak up in some way, but that doesn't mean that they have to speak up to everything. And that's why I was saying that, like I was bringing up the Michael Jordan and LeBron James thing. If I expected these people to speak up on every single thing that ever happened, they would literally never get a chance to sleep because they would be talking about each and every individual, kid starving in Africa right now. I can't have that expectation. but I do think that using your platform in the best way that you can is my expectation, and I want to be pragmatic about that. So with Michael Jordan, it makes sense that his first responsibility is to feed his children and make sure that his family's taken care of. If all of a sudden he comes out and he starts taking very political issues to where no Republicans are going to buy Jordans anymore, that's going to hurt his family. Probably not the best way to do things. But if when he goes out, he is a good role model, he's somebody that shows that he cares about certain issues, he's somebody who at least exemplifies a certain type of character that other people can follow, this is a good way for him to use his platform and show that even like, black men are able to be well-spoken and educated and carry themselves in a certain way. Or, the same for a bunch of other people in other communities. They want to be good role models in those communities. But other people who are like very outspoken, like he said, those people have a different type of responsibility. I would say somebody like Candace Owens, who does politics,
I'm surprised that you
and
can't
has
see
a
the
big
problem with this, Tom. I'm really surprised that you can't see the problem with this.
Well,
if
so
I hold you
let
responsible
me finish
to
up.
talk, wait, listen, I'm hearing what you're saying. You're saying a lot that's
Well,
unnecessary.
no.
I'm
The
not
last
gonna
thing I
get
was going
me
to say is that I'm talking about a moral responsibility. So obviously, everybody has freedom of speech. They can say whatever they want. Legally, I want everybody to be able to say whatever they want. But that doesn't mean that morally they ought to say whatever. And I think that if you do things in a negative way, you're going to be held responsible. And if you do things in a positive way, you should be given praise for that.
So wait, Tom, who gets to determine which issue they speak on?
I got you.
See, but listen, the problem that we're having is, let's say you're a celebrity.
Just really quick.
Okay, right.
Tom, who gets to decide which issue they speak about?
Well, that's
And
why I
you
said that
can
I would
never
want to
be
be pragmatic
progressive
about it, because in
and
every scenario it's going to be different. But I can't expect everybody to talk about every single issue. But if somebody, like recently, okay, so I had a friend who came on, who comes on my stream pretty often, and him and I talk about politics a lot, right? He had a huge drama where he was like, sending nudes to women without their permission and crap like that. Obviously, in this scenario, these are the type of things that I talk about a lot. If all of a sudden I just ignored this entire thing when this is my thing, this is what I talk about, and just pretended that it wasn't happening and just swept it under the rug, that would obviously be kind of fucked up, because this is what I talk about all the time. But if it's something that, that has nothing to do with the type of shit that I talk about and people are expecting me to focus on it for a while, that would be weird, right? It's in my wheelhouse. So I'm saying within your wheelhouse, be pragmatic about it, but they do have the responsibility.
No, I knew what you meant. When did Michael Jordan ever speak?
There's the Republicans buy shoes too. There's a bunch of situations with Michael Jordan when people were kind of comparing him with Muhammad Ali and all these ranking kind of people, and why he would never actually speak up to racial issues when he was the biggest star on the planet. So
that's what I was going to say. I never remember Michael Jordan ever speaking up anything pertaining to politics at all, like that. So
yeah, I said that he didn't. I said that he didn't, but I think that I said that he held his platform very responsibly in the way that he was a good role model and that he was somebody that people could look up to.
He was being himself,
right?
That's why I'm saying that it's dependent on the platform. But go ahead, sorry.
And
Chris.
friends, I'll give you more. I'll give you all more 10 minutes on this topic, because I think John, Chris wanted to go. Chaotic has been quiet about it, so let's get more 10 minutes for us to get to the bottom of this. Okay, John, João, and Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, the thing is, obviously, if you with how society is going, most of these celebrities and people's lives on social media, everybody knows what they're doing. Back in the day, there was the air of mystery around it. Obviously, the more you share, the more there's shit people can attack you for, criticize, all of this. So in the case of somebody like Michael Jordan, it's good to sometimes just say quiet. You keep that role model status, don't say too much, because the problem is a lot of celebrities are fuckheads, and we don't really want them spreading that kind of opinion to majority of their audience, and some of them might even know it and know, I don't want other people to be like me, I suck, so I'm just going to stay quiet and not incentivize people to follow my path.
So
it's a
before John
double-edged
goes,
sword.
the problem that I have with that is that people pick and choose what to say. They, for example, say Colin Kaepernick should be quiet about race issues, go ahead and just play ball, and then a conservative guy from the Packers. I'm not going to say names. Just go ahead and this political commentary, and everybody claps about it. That's for example the famous quote about Morgan Freedom. Uh, Morgan
Freeman.
Freedom. Sorry, my bad. He says, "Why you guys keep talking about racism? If we don't talk about racism, we'll disappear." And people that are very racist say, "Yeah, that's exactly. Don't separate." But as soon as somebody comes along and says exactly the opposite, yes, racism exists. We should be very aware of it. Why are you talking about race again? It's the wishy-washy. My side is very convenient when we do it. If the other side does the same, we're kind of going to push back a little bit. John, chaotic.
Yeah,
Then we open the
I
panel
don't
again.
think any celebrity should talk about political issues or social issues, or well, not every single one, but most of them are fuckheads, like Chris said and Kelly. Um, I think it's fine to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Muhammad Ali or be Michael Jordan, and well, LeBron James did talk about race sometimes.
What about Donald Trump?
But what do you mean?
Well, he's a celebrity. Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Reagan, like a lot of these people were celebrities that ran for office off of their celebrity.
Reagan
That's
was
how
an
they
actor.
got into it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's why I didn't say every single one, but most of them, at least most of them. I don't think the key word here, like Ben said, it's responsibility. I don't think you should have like this beacon of lights talking to Black people about being a role model and how you should perceive yourself, and then how you should or how you feel racism, when it's actually probably not true. I think most celebrities, if they want to talk about anything, and they are free to talk about everything, they should talk about the personal experiences. So, for example, if Michael Jordan was pulled up because Michael Jordan was playing during the Rodney King beating, right? If Michael Jordan was pulled up by the police and people roughed him up, or the police roughed him up, yeah, I think he should talk about it. But if he didn't experience it, which most celebrities don't, by the way, they should just shut up and do their job.
Shut up and dribble.
Well, I mean, what about Jackie Robinson? Like, if Jackie Robinson never did the things that he did, never talked about the things that he did, same with Muhammad Ali. If a lot of these people never did what they did, the progress never would have happened. They knew that responsibility was there. They knew the moment was there, and they took the moment, and it did the best they could.
But the moment was different as well.
It was different, but that's what I'm saying, is that we're going to have different moments here as well.
No,
right?
the moment was quite different because at the time, it wasn't used as a signal. How do you say it in English?
Virtue signal.
As a flag. Yeah, it wasn't used as that, and it wasn't used as most companies do it right now, which is to profit out of social issues.
But that is how social issues change. Like, but companies and people with celebrities, like making something comfortable. Kris Jenner, or what's her name? I don't. What's
the Coca-Cola ad?
No, Caitlyn Jenner. Thank you. Caitlyn Jenner is the person who started the whole trans topic, to where now all of a sudden trans things are still a big topic today because Caitlyn Jenner like made it a topic.
Yeah, Tom. But listen, yeah, she started all of that, and where are we now? The problem is it's not organic. It's not an organic way.
Nothing happens organically.
People. Well, some things do. And
Martin Luther King was not organic. Martin Luther King pushed that. He started that. Malcolm X pushed it.
The moment was different. Malcolm X actually.
The moment is different, and the moment was different.
Early age.
For Caitlyn Jenner as well.
Malcolm X actually pushed for segregation.
Let me just one second. Tom is being the star of the show, the MVP for the triple double. Legends don't finish his point, and then you can rebuttal. And Chaotic, you go next, please. Go ahead, John.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is what I think people see when they see, for example, Mark Ruffalo, which is a known Democrat, talking about issues, it's like, it's not real. What you're talking, I don't feel what you're saying, because I know you're not coming from. I know you maybe mean that, but you don't really mean that. So it's not organic. That's what I'm trying to explain. Like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, when they appeared, there were real fucking issues. These days there are real fucking issues, but the way these celebrities try to put them out there, it's not organic. You see the Snow White actress, like, did
That
you see
chick
the comments
sucks.
on yeah, I
But
didn't even,
but isn't
but
that
the comments, she's trying to do what celebrities do, which is trying to virtual signaling,
but
and
John,
she fucking
isn't that
failed.
actually? But isn't that actually the point? If the film is good, because people kind of judging her by her political statements, right? People say these
No,
people should
people
get.
are judging her because of the shit movie they produced, because
So
they
you
are
think it's not about
actually removing
wokeism?
love from a love story. Come on.
So
Um,
you think it's just about the movies, not about her statements and the
yeah, it's about the
wokeism?
movies. You might have a really small percentage of people who are not gonna, and then they see the reviews. It's the lowest movie on IMDb, so that helps. But
Mm.
for example, if you go to see the comments that she did, it felt like she was reading a fucking script. So it's not organic. She doesn't really mean that, and
Yeah, I saw it. I agree, John.
you can you can feel it, bro. You kind of
But
know.
I don't think
You
the
can look at
organic.
her.
Sorry.
It matters, yeah, but yeah, I just finished. It really matters being organic, feeling the thing that you're talking about. So if I'm a black guy and I felt that I suffered from racism, I'm gonna speak about it. You're gonna feel it. I'm gonna throw some emotion. And when she said that, she didn't really feel it.
John, you're absolutely right. She was talking about a make-believe child. Like she was talking about, like, oh, if my kid did this, blah blah blah. Like she was talking like people really thought she had a child. She didn't even have a kid. Yeah, John, you're right.
Well, I mean, I understand what you mean when you're talking about the
Chaotic
optics.
truth.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Finish your thought and then chaotic. Hey, chaotic. I know I told you before the show to chill. I know. Don't worry, it's my fault. It's my fault. You got it like Tom.
I'm listening to you guys. I'm
No,
listening.
it's fine. He's listening to the conversation. He's a second half type of player. Go ahead, Tom. Finish your point, and then we get chaotic here.
Yeah, I understand the optics of what you're talking about, that it has to like feel organic for people to understand it, but that doesn't mean that they don't actually believe what it is they're saying. Even if they are reading from a script, I think that everybody knows that they likely actually believe the things. The girl from Snow White was talking about Palestinian issues and talking about the way that Israel is bombing them. That doesn't mean that she doesn't actually care about people in Palestine. And when you're talking about the moment, literally the conversation that we were having, when you start talking about, well, that was a different moment, we were talking about Caitlyn Jenner at the time, and talking about the fact that, like, obviously trans people were in a very different position at the point where she started that conversation than they are today. They have way more advantages and way more understanding within society today than they did back then. She started a conversation that has led to a lot of growth and progress for trans people.
But the reaction of the people, that's the problem, right? So if it's not organic, people are going to be resistant to it. And I'm going to ask a question to the black people on the panel. So
hey, watch your mouth.
So if I make a joke and I make a racist joke, do you feel when it's racist, and do you feel when it's just a joke?
Yes, intention matters. We kind of
understand. Exactly. There you go.
Intention matters.
Facts.
Yes.
CT, and then we go to the next one. Go ahead, CT.
What's the question? I'm sorry. What's the question?
Ain't that a
fine?
bitch?
CT is rolling.
We thought we was just listening.
Yeah, no, he's conducting business. The man is a very important man. He's white.
How is white guilt productive or performative?
Should white No, this is actually not the topic.
Yeah, I thought that was like the last.
Yeah,
question.
I changed it. Should celebrities talk like? Do they have the responsibility to talk about racial issues and all that? Like, do you believe it or not?
Is there a responsibility on a celebrity to talk about racial issues?
Yes, if they should, if they shouldn't.
I think they should shut up. I think, well, I believe entertainers and athletes aren't that bright, aren't that intelligent on average. Yeah, you do get your occasional ones who have, you get a Matt Damon, right, who's a Harvard grad, but other than that, man, or attended Harvard, but other than that, man, how can I listen to a guy like LeBron, right? Here goes LeBron, who's been wealthy all his life. Even as a teenager, he was pretty much wealthy. You have to be a complete idiot as an individual to listen to a guy like LeBron say, I got to worry about my son driving. LeBron, your son is the most recognizable teenager in the goddamn country. What on earth are you talking about? You, LeBron, are the most recognizable man probably on the planet, or in the Western Hemisphere at least, that follows basketball. I mean, hell, even in China now, in the East, they know who you are. You don't have to go through racism. Your son won't. And truth be told, most black people, if not damn near all black people, don't go through no goddamn racism in America. The game of racism is a hot commodity, or it was a hot commodity, and it's on its last leg. Fatty, you know what a fire sale is?
Yes, is like sales, like you still selling everything at the
Yeah,
discount.
it's a last resort. It's like you're trying to sell a product that's pretty much valueless. Race or racism as a commodity has become valueless, and you see a lot of these liberals now. They're panicking. They're trying to sell this product as much as possible now. You saw that crazy black lady in Pennsylvania, Allentown, Pennsylvania, at City Hall, with the news, Fatty.
What did she do?
What happened?
The mammy, like most of these types of women, probably terrorizes every goddamn body in the building. She gets away with black ass privilege. She knows that she can sue. She knows that she can cry racism if she gets offended. So somebody probably told her to shut her mouth or something, because she's probably loud on the phone all goddamn day. So she decides to put a noose on her desk. This happened in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
I did see that. I did see that.
And so now, and so she got caught, right?